Hi guys, and welcome back to the survival project. In the last episode we built up this awesome little tower here and started doing a little bit of work along the sort of coastline here. I really am very happy with the way that this one's come out. I think it looks great. I'm just dead chuffed on that one. It's fairly simple as well, to be totally honest. I've added a load of pressure plates on the roof just to stop mobs spawning, which is cool. So between episodes I've been a bit busy as well, just doing busy work along the edge of this coastline, or river line if you will. We need to add all the variation in and that sort of stuff, but yeah, we've added a load of the grass in, so we're starting to terraform this island up basically. You can see I've got some plans for some more grass placement and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I've also, actually, before we move on to the next bit, been doing a lot of work here in the storage system, just finishing this off finally. So you can hear this is working away. We've changed all of this area up here. It's going to be a bit of a more manual sorting area. So, yeah, I mean, it's still a mess at the moment, but that's because we're sorting through everything one section at a time. So we're going to have random mob drops in here. I'm not too worried about the organisation of it. All of our coal stuff, all of our emeralds, glazed terracotta if we ever get any. This is going to be like seeds and saplings, I suppose. Just general plants, I suppose, between those two. Coral blocks, lighting, wall. Yeah, and it goes on. You can sort of see for yourself what's going on. This took me forever to get 2 blocks of netherite, but there you go. So, yeah, down here, I've pretty much finished everything off now. Well, I say pretty much finished everything off. I haven't. I've connected up these two storage systems together. You can see the ice track going along. This one here is actually not being used. Originally, I was toying around with the idea of having them as separate systems, but changed my mind on that. I actually wound up getting rid of the bottom trapdoors, just because once this eventually fills up a bit more, it will be a lot easier to sort of be able to tell exactly what's in each shulker box, because when these release a new shulker box, it comes outside on like that and you can't open it. But yeah, we're getting quite a lot of resources come through now. There's still some stuff in here from testing and all of that, but yeah, you can see it's all sort of starting to fill up a bit, and that is exactly what we want. So yeah, that's all great. This is coming along really well. We've done a load of other work. I don't know what I was going to do with these two random little storage wings, but there you go. These are all empty shulker boxes that I've managed to reclaim after sorting the storage out a little bit. I'm sure we'll have more by the end, but that's what we've got at the moment. And we've got this, which isn't functional yet. So one side does food and one side does just general cooking. Yeah, I don't really know why I've got the food one. I only really eat golden carrots, but it's there. It's there in case I want to use it. Um, huh, did not mean to do that. So yeah, it's just a general system. There's not even any minecarts on it yet. I haven't even finished the top bits yet. So I've got the rails up on this side. So there's still a lot of work to do down here to get all of this complete, but we are on the right tracks, and that went into the wrong slot. So yeah, this is all starting to look really cool now. I need to come up with a bit of a roof design, but I love this strip birch look and this little pattern that you get out of it as well when you go that way, that way, that way, that way, all the way along. Yeah, it creates quite a nice little floor pattern, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, I've got a lot of waiting around to do, and I keep closing myself in. But yeah, basically this is going to take a long time to get all of the items from in here, because we have got quite a lot of stuff really. Some of it not so much, but in fact quite a bit. This is quite empty. Yeah, so it's going to take a little while, but it may not take too long. It's starting to look a bit scary out there. I don't have a bed. Anyway, I'm just going to fly over and let you know what we're going to be doing. So we said at the end of the last episode we wanted to start work on this lighthouse bit here, and I've got a pretty cool idea for what I want to do with this. So rather than creating a man-made bridge, what I was thinking was we could create a sort of really cool rock formation that comes over in a bit of a semicircle and connects us onto this island. Now, that's going to take a little bit of work for me to do, and we will more than likely be doing that in a time lapse. and yeah, hopefully it winds up looking really good. But the first things that I want to do is sort of get these islands here built up to the sort of heights that we want them. There is going to be a man-made bridge between this island and this one. Either that, or I'm just going to connect it as a landmass. I've not 100% decided yet. But yeah, so there's going to be like a little house that's going to live on this one, and then the lighthouse itself is going to live on this one. The lighthouse itself is nothing special. It's just going to be the same as the one... Can we see it? Yeah. Just over in the distance here. We're just going to build the same thing for consistency's sake. So, it's been about 6 minutes now. I think it's about time I did a bit of work. I'm going to get these islands built up, and I'm also going to keep moving items over from my storage system because that needs to happen. So this was actually a hell of a lot harder to put together than I thought it would have been. It was quite a bit of a struggle, really. But I think what we've got here actually looks really good. So we're using the polished diorite along the bottoms there just to add that sort of algae looking colour to the rocks, which we are going to eventually do coming all the way around. Texturing all of this up is going to take a hell of a long time, so not really looking forward to that, but it will look fantastic when it's done. You can see I've been a bit busy as well, so I didn't see the point in recording it. This is the exact same build as the lighthouse we have way off in the distance over there. You can just about see it poking over the top of the bamboo. So yeah, it's essentially, well, not essentially, it literally is the exact same design. I kept flying back and forth just to make sure I was doing things properly. So that's all good, and I've also filled out this bit of island a bit more, got the sort of cliff facing done around the edges. Now, over here, you'll see it's kind of floating. It looks a bit, and we're in the water. That was a good flight. So yeah, you can see it's just a floating little island at the moment, but I had what I thought was a pretty cool idea, whereby we're just going to have this tiered a little bit, and I'm going to create some wooden structures on this side and on this side, and basically the idea is that the person who lives in the little house we're going to build here, if he needs to get to the lighthouse, he'll come down the wooden structure, get in a boat, row over, and go up that way, rather than building another bridge, because this is actually quite a big gap and would require a really large bridge, and I don't want to build anything too big. But what I have done over here is created like a little tiered thing, because I just think it'll help break up the flatness of what this island is. So yeah, there'll be like a set of stairs that'll lead down to here, and then maybe some more stairs that are going to lead down to here. Obviously I need to build up the rest of the cliff facing for this island, and then that is pretty much going to sort of finish that little area off. So I need to come up with a build for this, and then we need to do something here as well. I think I'll do the build, the actual house build here. I'll do that in a time lapse. I'll get this bit finished, and yeah, that's pretty much. Afterwards we'll just do a simple bridge, nothing too complicated. It might even be a very, very similar design to that, because I think that could look pretty cool. And there's something else that I've been up to, so I started dragging all of this out a little bit more as well. So I'm just adding in sort of like the wiring to give me a decent idea of what's going on. Now for this, it's going to come round and follow the sort of natural shape a bit, but on this side we're going to come up fairly high, I think, and create like an actual mountain peak. It's not going to be a massive mountain or anything, but it should wind up looking pretty cool when we're done. So it is hitting night time, and I've got a whole load of work to do. I'm going to start off by finishing off building up this island, and then we'll move into our next time lapse. But yeah, yeah, even from this side, I really love the way that looks. It was a good idea. I had a good idea. Well done, me. So I don't think I've actually shown this storage system working yet on camera. It does work, which is great. So at the moment we've got a full shulker box of stone here. The easiest way to tell is because this chest is full. And we've got a couple of empty shulker boxes in here. This one says dirt. There's not actually anything in it, I don't think. There shouldn't be anyway. Yeah, it is an empty one. Yeah, so basically all we have to do is come along, break that, pops off, new one goes in, completely empty, which is great, and then we've got a nice full shulker box of stone. So yeah, I can actually build some cliffs now. So really unfortunately, that time lapse didn't capture everything. It basically captured absolutely nothing, which is actually really annoying because I'm really happy with the way that this build's come out, but heyo, stuff happens. Let's get airborne a sec. How much? Yeah, my elytra's almost dead now. But yeah, it's just a nice simple build and I think it looks really cool. We got all of the like vegetation and that going on around the area. And I think it does work well coming into this building here. It's a very simple design. It's basically just a block house with a pointed edged roof. Yeah, got a load of plant life and all of that normal stuff that we put everywhere. I've still got some of my chests and that about the place, but yeah, that pretty much finishes this little bit off here. So what I need to do is make the sort of stairway down here to get onto a boat and make a stairway up on that side to get onto a boat. From here it doesn't look like there's any grass there, but there is, I promise. See? So yeah, I'm going to get that bit done and then we'll jump back in. Oh, and I'll probably also do something to the back end there, but yeah, I love the design. It's so simple. Simple designs tend to come out the best in my opinion. Anyway, moving on. So I've had a few issues with recording time lapses and that today, but I have done pretty much everything that I've set out to do, which is great. So we've got this nice little walkway down here that leads us to a boat, which is facing the wrong way, but we basically just literally take it over like this. I may change this design because that's a little bit finicky, to be totally honest. It's not the best solution. But yeah, then that brings us round and up to here, up to our lighthouse. So that's all really cool. I quite like the design. I'm not 100% sold on it, but you know, it works. It does the job. We need to add some plant life and that around here, but I'm probably just going to do that between episodes. And there's also a little bit of space back here that we can sort of play with. I've used all of my rockets now. So I also went along and built this bridge up. It is essentially the same design as that one there, but I actually think it's a little bit better. So what I did was I added like this beam along the middle that just added a bit more structural support, and then used the crimson trapdoors there just to sort of come along the edges and make that look a bit better. In fact, I preferred this one so much that I actually wound up adding some of it onto there. Let me just zoom in with our zoom key. So yeah, you can see, I just think it looks a lot better. It's a lot more filled out and that. Let's go back to normal because that's a bit weird. So yeah, awesome little bridge. Oh, there's a hole there. Yeah, it does exactly what it needs to do, which is great. So let me grab some rockets. I've got a feeling this might wind up being a bit of a shorter episode because I am out of time for this one. It's actually been quite a while since I last uploaded, so I really do need to sort of get this one up. So I am just going to really briefly outline what's going on with the rest of the island now, because I've had a bit of time to make a few plans and that. Oh, I've added all the trapdoors up here to stop mob spawning, so it makes lovely clicking noises when we run. Anyway, coming along this ridge here, where we've got the path at the moment, we're going to build up like a woodland area, a little bit like that one, but not quite as sort of brown. So we're still going to have like the grass as the floor and all of that sort of good stuff. So that should wind up looking really good, coming right away along that ridge, right away up to the point that we're building this little bit that's leading up to the cliff we was talking about earlier. And we're going to open that out quite a bit so we can get some really decent views of like the lighthouse, and from over there as well you should be able to see right along onto the first bit of the island that we worked on. And that should wind up being a pretty neat little design. Now we're going to build like a little cliff facing along the edge there, so I need to sort of tidy up the grass line and that. But basically what I want is for our village to essentially be in like a strip almost, and that's going to run through along there. So you're going to have cliff facings going along here, and we're going to have some cliff facings coming along. We'll just use the ravine as like a way to sort of mark it out. So cliff faces are going to come along there, and there's going to be a raised up area where all the farming's done. And again, that should wind up looking really, really good. So yeah, I think I said it before. We're going to have like an actual mountain-ish area over the back bit there. And we're going to have like a little docks area just in that section there. And right up on the top there, we're going to have some form of a big build. Not sure whether it's going to be like a palace or, something along those lines. I'm not sure. At any rate, in the next episode, I am going to start work on this woodland area. That should be pretty fun. And yeah, basically, I'm just going to be doing a lot more work, sort of getting the shape of this right and pulling everything out to where we want it to be. So the actual city, as I say, is actually going to be quite a bit lower down than everything else. And yeah, I think it should wind up looking really good. At any rate, we've actually done a lot of work today. It's just a shame I've had some issues with the replays. Well, they're not replays. I'm so used to using the replay mod. I think for one of the recordings, I actually wound up recording it in first person rather than setting the OBS up to record the other instance of Minecraft I had open. So that was a little bit weird. But yeah, with everything being said, sorry it's taken a little while to get this episode out. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'm going to catch you in the next one.